All right, guys, welcome back. Dave's just come back from his little mini work vacation, help his family out, and the devastation of Mexico Beach. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but one thing I wanted to hit on, because we were talking about it not too long ago, is Dave went on wouldn't call it an interview. He had a little business meeting with some people, and when he walked in, he had a nice little surprise, and you were sharing that with us, Dave, and tell us about it.
Yeah. So no, actually, it was set up as a as a job interview, and so it was down in the nice part of 280 in this office complex, and so when I get there, the receptionist up front.
You haven't even made it past the receptionist yet.
It was shocking. So generally, you go into an office and the receptionist is an older woman, and she's very, churchy, and
in this geographic, I guess you could say, in Southeast.
Yeah. So I go in there, and it was like at the receptionist of like a porn studio. Nice. This girl was like 22, low cut top. And she hands me this. She's behind a big desk, and she hands me this
dildo.
No, that can't. That would be a story. No, just paperwork to fill out.
Hold on to this. I'm looking for a pen.
Yeah. So I'm sitting down. I fill out the paperwork, and I hand it to her, and then she gets up to walk across the room. And she had a damn mini skirt on that barely made it past her ass. Bare legs, stripper heels, and
nice.
And it was just startling because it was her and one guy in this whole big office, and that guy, his suit looked so frumpled, like he put it on for me. Like he's not comfortable or used to wearing a suit. And so he put that on when he saw me pull up in the parking lot. And like I was telling Chris, company...
maybe him and the front desk girl,
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
I think she was there for a reason, and she was on point. But like I told Chris, I went to their website because I put resumes in so many different places. It's hard to keep up when somebody calls me, cold calls me. Yeah. It's who's who. So I went to their website to get refamiliarized with it, and it was so vague. It was people playing parcheesi, a dude pushing another dude on a swing.
You mean? What do you mean? These are their images on there?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It was very odd, and it was just all.
Are you sure you weren't interviewing for a porn job?
Well, I mentioned that to that guy, and I go, "Hey, what is up with your website, man?" And he says, "Oh, we're very team building oriented and all that." And I said, "But there's no substance. I mean, put a picture of someone hammering a nail or something on there, And it was just all people playing games and
having a good time,
swing sets, and
So what was it
like
they
that.
did? What was their?
They were the middleman for telecommunications and other companies, and it was just. I don't know. But anyways, it was supposed to be a 3-tier interview process, and I grilled that guy kind of hard.
Yeah.
Because
so
I
you're
felt
not wasting your time.
Right. And so I didn't really expect to get a call back because I got on him hard because I felt like the whole thing was a sham. And of course I never heard back. But he said it was a 3-step hiring process.
Sounds pretty odd.
It was extremely odd, the whole thing, and then to come out in the first 2 minutes and say, well, this position pays $85,000 a year. Can you pay your bills with that? And I just
I could make some ends meet. I might have to get a second job.
But it was just weird to open like that, And I had a very robotic tone as he was going through this prepared statement.
I always, not to get you off track of your story, but when I was young, early 20s, whatever, you see these ads for jobs or whatever, and you go on them, and it was like they were the weirdest shit like that. Like it's almost like Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the working from home stuff,
No,
right?
not working from home. They want you to come in. Oh, we're sales position jobs, and this and that, and you're like, okay, well, a sales position job for this whatever level company, and you go in and you enter, you send your stuff in. And they call you and they say, yeah, you meet the qualifications, and we'll train and for what we're doing, blah blah, and different sales of different. And you go in and it's like almost a Ponzi scheme kind of thing, and I just wonder how those places stayed in business, because I never really, it was always a weird atmosphere like that.
Yeah, well, that's actually the second one I've got sucked into like that. The first one was an insurance, where they wanted me to try to sell life insurance and then get other people to sell for me, and then they would get people to sell for them,
They
and
wanted you
so
to get
on.
all your friends to buy.
Yeah, and I said, I'm not doing this shit. So I left there, but anyways, we'll see. I've got another interview actually on Tuesday, so not with them, a different set of Ponzi
For $85,000, I'd have to try it out though. Damn.
Well, it was probably one of those weird things they commissioned or whatever. Who knows?
And I asked them all that, is it sales or what? And the guy just didn't have a lot of answers, to be so vague and to have such a weird website, and the whole everything. The porn star up front, your frumpled suit, your inability to describe clearly of what the job entails. And I took a day off working with my brother-in-law to go out there, and it was basically the interview was, well, we just wanted to see you and just kind of introduce ourselves, and then we'll call you in for a second interview. And I'm like, hey, dude, I took the whole day off, and this is it? This is what you got? I say, well, can't you bundle the first and the second interview into one? Because that was all the first one is? You just wanted to see me?
Yeah, I could have sent you a fucking picture.
Yeah, damn, dude. So
did you get the girl's number on the way out the door? I'd at least tried to. It wouldn't have mattered if
because I wasn't going back.
Maybe they were just looking for a third partner. Maybe that's all.
No, it is a major. Apparently, they're according to him. Who knows what to believe? But it's according to them, they're making money hands over fist.
Dude, if I'd have got a bad feeling going out the door, I'd at least gave that girl my number. So I'd have been like, well, when this dude finally, whenever bullshit he's selling falls through to you.
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, give me a call. I know you're looking for another an unemployed guy to hang out with. So come on over. But no, I could always go back and just pop in as like a follow-up. Hey, I'm just following up. I haven't heard back, and hey, here's my number type of thing.
There you go.
So, but anyways, I just found it interesting. But I'll at least try to get a picture next time I go. we'll take a selfie, me and her.
Yeah, there you go. So, how was down Mexico Beach, man? You want to hit on that?
Yeah, we can. So Mexico Beach was like any time you see something on TV and then you go and see it in person, it just magnifies. The scope is larger. You get the smell, the taste in your mouth. You get the emotions of people that have lost everything.
Right.
And it was sad, but the people down there weren't sad. Of course they weren't happy, but it wasn't. They weren't at all self-defeated. People were coming together, helping each other out, rebuilding, and just making a plan and moving forward.
And that, and I touched on that earlier when we were off air, but it's crazy because it's like when you got that, there hasn't been any next that I've seen. I'm not a big TV guy as far as watching a lot of television, but man, you haven't seen a whole lot from the major media companies saying, "Oh, the world's come to an end. We're down here," and none of that stuff. And I think it's because they got nothing to sell.
Right.
When these people are down there and they're just like, well, like you said, the one guy was. There were the guys down there just got the sawhorses out, the generators running, they're fucking cutting, and they're working their ass off. That's not a good sell nowadays. And it amazes me. To me, and I don't know shit, I guess, obviously, because I'm not rich and don't run fucking TV stations, but to me, that's a story. To me, that's a story of all the bullshit. It's amazing what people are all about the negative. But, if you got camera crews out there and you got a guy, anchor, or I don't know if what do you call the ladies? If they're got the guys, or I guess they're both anchors, whatever.
Yeah.
But, whoever your TV person is, they're out there and says, hey, this horrible category whatever storm, all this devastation, but we want you to look, man, these people right here, they're building, they're putting it back, they're cleaning, they're doing that. And like you said, are they happy? No. But they're resilient, and they're going to come forward, and they appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Tell a story of hey, we're, these people down here are kicking ass.
But I don't think that's the way the news media works, And I will say this, that there was a lot of American flags hung up. There was a lot of Trump flags hung up. There was a lot of spray painted messages to Trump, positive messages. There was a lot of hashtag MAGA everywhere.
No wonder they didn't go down there.
Yeah.
They fucking left.
Yeah, all over the place down there. And it was just, it was an incredible scene, really.
Do you think that was this will be reaching deep. Do you think that was a community effort to keep strangers out of their town while they're trying to get their shit together?
Well, I will say this. They've got the National Guard on the borders, and so you have to show proof of residency to even get in.
Wow.
So your average Joe just can't waltz in there.
So your brother, obviously his ID comes from a different state. What did he have to take down there to show proof of residence?
Tax forms, tax form, and then they'll give you a printed form that's just easy to flash, every time. And so, we had 2 trucks down there, so he just said, hey, me and the truck behind us, are all together. But it was National Guards all rifled up and everything. And they're not just grazing at it. I mean, they're looking at it, and they're looking at your ID and matching photos and everything.
Impressive.
Yeah, they're very thorough. But like I was telling you earlier, the thing that was probably most impressive was the fact that the relief stations that were set up with food and water and diapers and everything, some of them were set up and unmanned, and it was an honor system to go in, get what you need, and then leave, or leave something, Mm-hmm. And just to see people, out of a case of water, they'll take what they need, and not just try to deplete the whole thing. And it was just tons of supplies out there. And people are just taking what they need for the moment, for the day, or whatever to get them by, because they know that there's other people in the same situation.
Right.
So it really was pretty incredible just to watch that.
We'll definitely have to push that as far as giving them props on that. Because like you said, I think you said, Joe, that, if it had been anywhere else, people backing down trailers in and just taking
wiping
everything.
it out.
Yeah, wiping it out.
Stabbings.
Yeah. Not the case at all. That oyster bar across from my brother's house that I think we went to before.
Yeah.
That was set up, and it got wiped out. The door's blown in, and it's just a shell. But on the front porch, it's just loaded down with supplies.
Wow.
And everybody driving by and just kind of getting what they need. Tarps, water, diapers, whatever, bleach, and then just go on. And it was wild, really.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's well, no wonder the damn mainstream media wasn't down there. They
don't want to report that.
Not enough Jerry Springer.
Yeah, they didn't have enough there was not enough rage at the current administration to
yeah. They won't see that. It's just not there, And the only side of tension that I saw was 2 houses had spray painted "Looters will be shot," and I think that's an understandable comment, or
Sounds
sign.
fair to me.
Yeah, and that's it. Aside from a couple of those signs, which I didn't hear of any looting going on down there. So
amazing how that works, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like the National Guard was doing a good job. So we have to give props to Florida.
Oh, no
their
doubt.
National Guard was doing what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a 7:00 curfew. So, and I know Randy said that he got pulled over at 8:00, about 3 blocks from his RV when he was coming back the previous week. And he said the guy was short and direct and wanted to know what he was doing. That asked him if he understood that there was a curfew, and if so, why was he on the road?
Wow.
And he said, listen, he says, this is my RV right here. He says, we're parking, we're done for the night. He says, I was working on my condo. And the guy just stressed to him, he said, listen, he said, do not get back on this road. And they're running a very good operation over
tight
there.
ship, huh?
Yeah, and they mean business.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that kind of goes into the whole martial law thing. People, we don't typically talk about politics or whatever, but, martial law, everybody wants certain ways of how this country's run, but they don't understand once martial law ever kicks in, it's a different world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's not, well, I'll slip out, it's just me or whatever. They are heavily patrolling the streets, and I'm telling you, man, there's an air of tension because, everybody's watching everybody. Everybody's lost everything, and you're trusting everybody to kind of help each other out, but at the same time, you've got an eye out just in case,
You're smart, yeah.
Yeah. Just to make sure that nobody tries anything crazy.
Yeah.
Because I showed you pictures of this guy, the walls of his condo blown out, and all of his possessions are exposed to the elements in the world.
Well, when you're exposed to the world like that, your whole mindset changes.
Yeah.
How you look at things. When everything's comfy and cozy, and Joe and I have talked about this probably countless numbers of times, but when you got everything out there and you're exposed to the world, that changes you. That's your mindset's going to change. How you deal with people's going to change. We have it so great in this country and we're so protected. We'll run that mouth because we know we can pick up the phone and call a cop, or we know we can do this. And then the same people that run their mouth have to pick up the phone, call a cop. They're the ones that are bashing the cops. All that crazy stuff, and it's just a weird thing. But when you get down to the primal part of it, when something like that, imagine, that was just a sliver of civilization destroyed. So if you imagine a country destroyed for whatever reason, like a World War III or whatever, and martial laws kicked in, people laugh at those movies and laugh at those shows and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, man, it changes your whole mindset of what you got to do to survive or protect yourself, whatever you got, and it's amazing how many people are not prepared.
Yeah.
Not even just with assets, food, water, guns, whatever, but just mentally are not prepared for that kind of living.
Yep, absolutely. Well, and like I told
I'm not going to chime in on it. I know you keep looking over here, but I am not going to comment on that publicly about that kind of stuff, no.
You got nothing? Nothing
No.
you can...
Nope.
Joe has some of the best thoughts and forethoughts, and I'm not talking about being aggressive or mean, but you've got a lot of insight, on your personal feelings on that. You should, throw something out there, man. We're hitting a subject you like.
Yeah, no, because most people think that's crazy talk,
what, that martial law would kick in?
Oh, they don't believe in martial law. They don't believe anything bad could ever happen. So you just go along blissfully ignorant through life and hope that it doesn't happen instead of preparing for the worst.
And not preparing for the worst in the sense that you spend your whole life on edge. But people just... Joe and I've talked about it. I don't know why he's being so shy, but it's just your little basic things. Just your, if nothing else, mindset. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, we'll get in off on the crazy folks. So you got EMP that goes off for whatever reason. Just power grids are down. This and that. And I'm guilty of this. I don't carry a lot of cash. Typically with me. Fuck, man. If you get a place and you got to barter food with somebody, or you got to buy gas to get somewhere, and you ain't got no cash, or you don't have anything to swap with them, you're fucked. So now you're at the point, well, how important is it for you to get to wherever you're going? Is it worth whooping that guy's ass and taking what you need? So that whole dynamic changes. And, I think about Mexico Beach, and not to get off into the crazy talk, but, you have a whole town that just went poof.
Yeah, and I guarantee you the weeks prior to that, they couldn't imagine their lives being turned upside down like that.
Yeah, they're just strolling around having a good time.
Yeah.
But how nice things are working out there, I think, is an outlier. I think most times when things go bad, it's not usually that nice. People, there is no honor system because people turn into animals when they lose everything.
So you're saying basically there's a glimmer of hope, but that people are acting the right way.
Maybe. I don't, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
To me, obviously a lot of the people that own places down in Mexico Beach are probably snowbirds or probably, people that have other things, so they didn't technically lose everything in the sense of they've still got shelter, they still got whatever in maybe their primary homes, but I'm sure they're at least 50% of the people, maybe even more, are full-time residents down there. Wouldn't you say?
A lot of them are, and the people that are being most hard hit are the business owners because they own a business and they live there.
Right.
And like I was telling you, there's not a lot of large commercial businesses down in Mexico Beach. It's small businesses, mom and pops. So they not only lost their business, but then they also lost their home. And so those people are getting a double hit.
Yeah, their livelihood completely.
Yeah. So, but, a lot of the bigger beach houses, belong to, people that are coming in from out of town, know. And so those people generally, they'll have the means to rebuild or handle it a little bit differently than some of the business owners. But I'll tell you, so the thing is though, even though I was there for 3 days, I still, and like I told my brother, I still don't even really grasp everything that went on because the whole time I was there, as bad as it was, and I saw a lot of things, in my mind, I knew I was going to come back to the comfort of my home.
Yeah.
Well, that was the point I was making, or I was trying to make, is, if you got 50% of the people, and we're talking about why it was a glimmer of hope, but maybe everything was going good, is if, say, half of the people that live down there or own property down there, if they have somewhere else to go, their stress levels may not be as deep as somebody, say, as
Nothing
in New
left to
Orleans.
lose.
Yeah. New Orleans, they had nothing left to lose. Man, you got people, lost everything. Lost their house. I mean, they were just standing there like, fuck, I got to eat. They're just going to bust windows and do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to the original part of the conversation where people lose their minds, and all that stuff, so there's no honor system. So I'm curious.
And the thing about it doesn't take long for people to lose their minds. I mean, a few years ago we had a snow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not,
And the ice and people lost their shit because they couldn't get around. But
yeah.
But what you were saying, the people that own, they have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
They have somewhere to retreat to regroup, if you will, figure out what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. They're not standing there worried if they're going to be
what they're going to eat later that night.
Later.
So I'll tell you. So right across the street from Randy's condo was this enormous house that survived. Now, when I say survived, it still had the roof blown off, and it had 2 elevators on either side, and those were bent up, twisted, and damaged, and all that. And so it was a girl about our age. She actually came over and asked me to hold the ladder because the whole downstairs was blown out, and so she could get up through this ladder. And I got to talking to her, and she said that she drove down. Her and her husband own it, and that her husband's up in Illinois working the farm, and he sent her down to deal with insurance and make a decision on are they going to build from what they was left or tear it down and rebuild or what they're going to do.
That must be a strong woman because most guys wouldn't send their women down to a dam.
Oh, she was incredible, man. I'm going to tell you. So she was up there, just ripping sheetrock out, shit out, and just making it happen.
No shit.
Yeah. And it was cool to talk to her. I spent, a couple of days out there with her back and forth between the condo and over there. And she was just calm as could be. My husband's working the farm. It was either I work the farm and he come down or I come down.
That's a soldier right there, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I've had, Dave, and I've had that conversation. So if you want to get in a relationship, and you got to be in with somebody that's your partner.
Nice to be in with somebody that you can count on for stuff like that.
Yeah, you do.
Instead of you having to do everything.
Right. When the chips fall, they're shoulder to shoulder with you, and they just whatever it takes.
So she had a truck. It reminded me of that old black truck that you used to
my
have.
Dodge, yeah.
Yeah. She had a truck like that loaded up, and she drove down from Illinois. The back of that thing was loaded down with supplies. And she told me, she says, I was prepared. She goes, I packed a tent, and I was prepared to sleep in a tent over here at this house. And she says, but we've got friends at Port St. Joe, which is right next door, and they said there's no need, just stay at our house.
Cool.
She says, but I was prepared to tent this thing and see it through. I was like,
badass.
yeah, hardcore.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lucky man right there. I'm gonna tell you what. Whatever this guy's name is, he's a lucky man. I don't even know what this chick looks like, but she's.
I mean, she was attractive, but she was there. She had on Daisy Dukes work boots and a tank top, and she was ready to shit it and get it out there. Yeah.
So we know Dave didn't get shit done. He's over there holding that ladder for 3 days.
Well, so we had a covered trailer. We were getting supplies and generators out on the side of the road, and she comes up and she goes, "Excuse me, guys, can one of y'all hold my ladder?" And I threw my shit down. Got it.
Goddamn Randy didn't even get to blink, did he?
No. I said, "Look, man,
let go of Randy's ladder."
Yeah. I said, "Man, there's 3 of you guys. Surely y'all can handle this." Jeez. But
I'm talking shit, goddamn.
yeah,
I would have loved to have been there. The only problem is I don't know who would
I
have
was born for. I got this.
I just don't know who would have dropped their shit faster, you or me.
yeah.
You hold one side, I'll hold the other.
Man, no, but I mean, it was just her mindset was very impressive, and her approach to the whole thing. You know,
you got to have that, man. If you look at every successful group, couple, family, it's really one way or the other. Either the guy is just so alpha and he's just that guy that can handle everything, and the girl's just kind of there, she's a trophy, or it's a couple, and you'll find that the lady is just very strong mentally, and she gets shit done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's the way they had it, And obviously, I mean, I didn't meet her husband, but he's probably just like her, just old farm boy, just getting it.
Yeah, and I guess I need to backtrack and say, that's not to say there's not successful ladies out there on their own. I'm just saying what you typically see is a family unit. It's either the guy's some crazy smart guy or super alpha that owns some gigantic business that he's got people handling shit for him, or it's a couple that owns a farm or owns a business, and they just drive that force together.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, but it was real neat just to kind of meet people like that, while I was down there. So.
And I'll be honest with you, I'd rather be in the couple situation than, because you can trust your partner versus people that work for you that might be fucking you over.
Yep, no doubt. And so we would just before I left, I talked to her, and she said she's just hanging out waiting on the insurance people to show up, and she was just piddling around in this destroyed house waiting on insurance, and you'd see her a lot of times, just hanging out.
How was the Wi-Fi signal?
Hanging out. It was actually no, they had mobile towers that they brought in.
No shit.
Wow.
That I've never seen one. That's pretty impressive.
Yep, sure did. Connected to these huge trucks, these big huge towers that they brought in. But I'm telling you, man, I don't know if it was Trump or who it was, but I mean,
if it was the governor of Florida or who,
but they were making some shit happen down there. I'm telling you.
That just infuriates the fuck out of me that they don't post that stuff. They don't. That's the kind of shit we need as a country. Yeah. To build our confidence, to come together, to whatever.
But you and I have talked about that. I think it's because they don't want us to unite. They want us divided. Divide and conquer. They want us fighting about Republicans and Democrats. They want us fighting about black and white. So they push those kind of issues. I mean, instead of us, they can't have us all come together and go, holy shit, what the hell? Why are they doing this to us?
Right.
This is supposed to be for the people, by the people. Maybe we should, no, they can't have that.
Yeah,
we got to be fighting about petty bullshit and other stuff and with each other instead of.
If it's going to be anything positive for the Republican Party or for Trump, I don't think they're going to show it either.
Oh, hell no. And whether you like the guy or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, you still got one guy who's running the country per se, but there's still so many layers of the onion that go down through there. I mean, anybody says that one person can run the country is full of shit. You got to have people from the very top down to your local mayors. Mexico Beach, whoever their mayor was, if he was a smart guy, and I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say he was involved. I mean, he had to be on the ground, talking to the National Guard, talking to the local police department. If he's a good mayor, he or she, I don't know who they got, but whoever, when you get down, it's just like the town we live in right here. if your mayor's garbage, your city council's garbage, that's step one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If they can't get your basic shit handled
Right.
during a tragedy, whether it's a hurricane, tornado, snowstorm, ice storm, whatever, that you're fucked anyway. Don't blame the president. You gotta your local people, and I think that's where we fuck up a lot, is people bitch about people that are way disconnected from a simple local scene. When you talk federal, that's a country overall, but they say, oh, well, this state doesn't do this or this town doesn't do that. Man, that's your mayors, that's your city council, that's the people you hit right there.
Yep.
And I bet you that mayor was whoever he or she is. I bet they were all in it day one.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. So I didn't see him, but I'm sure he was up to his eyeballs, just handling everything over there,
Yeah. Throw a little bit of siren in the background. I did that on purpose.
I like that. For the effect of
Yeah. So, no, but I don't know. But that's pretty fascinating, Mexico Beach. I hate that your brother's going to be doing a lot of work. That'll keep his ass busy for a while, though.
Yeah, because I'm sure he didn't have anything else to do, right? Yeah.
He'll be super busy.
Yeah.
Well, if he fucks around, he can go down there and, he's already taking care of himself, but he might go down there and give him a couple lottery tickets.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's actually nowhere in that general area to buy lottery tickets. When I tell you that there's no businesses, I mean nothing, zero. If you don't, we had to pack a cooler and bring it with us, because as we were working, if you get thirsty, hungry, to go to the bathroom, basic things. There's no, hey, I'm going to go run across the street and get a water. I mean, there is zero, nothing. Power, water, nothing. So you got to drive miles and miles and miles and miles to get a lottery ticket.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that's what he said. It's up to $1 billion.
1.6.
1.6.
Yeah. Now I bought that $1 billion ticket on my way back, which didn't hit. But hell, the whole drive back, I was making plans on what I was going to do with that. Jeez.
Just let you know, I make a great assistant.
I'm sure.
I will get shit done.
I'm sure you'd be around somewhere. Ain't no doubt. If I hit.
I make sure the girls are washed up for you before they came in, at least.
Washed up and shaved up is what
I'm the general inspector, head to toe.
Oh, man. Yeah, 1.6 drawing on Tuesday. So
you don't think nobody's going to hit that, though? What do they do, split that thing up or do whatever after a while?
No. But, if you read, the reason why it gets up so big now is because they changed the way it works, so you have even less odds. You got like 1 in a 3 million chance.
I thought it was 30 million. I thought.
300. I'm sorry, 300 million chance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but if
how do
one
they change
person,
that?
If one person hits it, it's going to be a $900 million payout. If only one hits
one
it.
person. Holy smokes!
That's
man.
crazy. But how did they change it? I don't know.
I think they changed something with the numbers on how things pop up or whatever, which changed the odds.
Because it's still 5 numbers and then a Powerball, and they're still doing it with the ping pong balls.
I don't know.
So
maybe they added more balls.
But they're not the only ones that did it. There was like 2 of them that have done that.
Well, that's a lot of states. Yeah. It's like 23 states or something like that makes up the Powerball.
Right. Yeah. But I think it's Powerball, and isn't there a Mega or something
Mega
like
Millions.
that? So both of them have changed stuff towards.
But
that's how you get those higher payouts.
You're talking about people living right, though. Those people that run those lotteries, they're fucking... Because you think if they got 1.5 billion to give out, that means there's more in the pot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's just the crust.
Yeah.
So kind of like people think they're going to make money going to a casino.
Yeah. I know. Hey, I made some money going to the casino.
So have I.
I've had some good luck. Matter of fact, I'm kind of overdue to go to the casino. I just need to take a little bit of money that I don't mind losing.
Yeah. But no, I'm probably going to take a drive either this evening or tomorrow, and maybe I'll go.
Going today?
I might, or after the job interview on Tuesday, I might do it because it's Tuesday night is the drawing.
Well, I'll say.
Where are you going?
You gonna go to Georgia?
Georgia or Tennessee, one or the other direct. If I go to Tennessee, I can hit the breweries in Huntsville again. So that'd be.
What time are you coming back though?
I don't even know what time I'm going. So.
I'm just saying, if you left today.
Oh, I don't know. I'll
Depends
stop.
on if he goes through the brewery.
Yeah, if I go north, I'm going through breweries.
I'm
so I don't-
just feeling out where you might come back, so I might go with you.
Knowing whether or not you got to call in tomorrow.
Well, I can't call in. I got too much shit to do. But
it's not going to be an all-night thing, but there's going to be. It's not going to be a straight shot. There's going to be stops.
Yeah.
Just know that you'll. If you're not drinking, you'll watch me drink.
I mean, I probably drink one or two with you, but I'm just saying I don't want to come rolling in at like 3 or 4 in the morning.
No, hell no. It would be 9 o'clock, probably latest.
Oh shit, I'm gonna do that with you if you're going after this.
We'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind throwing $1 or 2 on that thing.
$1 or 2, shit. I drive to the border. I'm not spending $1 or 2. Hell,
Well, you're driving. I'm not.
damn.
I'm just spending time with my little buddy.
There you go. Damn, but that would be a good investment. Pull in 1.6 bill and you only spend $2. How's that for a return?
We would all be living right.
Oh, man.
I would buy land and we'd build a mini town. I'd be like, what did you want your house to look like? Your brother would even be happy. So I'd have to make your brother's construction company build everything. Like, look, man, you're getting fucking paid.
There you go. Yeah.
Everybody benefits.
Yeah. Hell yeah. He would love that shit.
Yeah. Well, he's about to retire.
I know. I wouldn't let him if I had that kind of money. But look, man, I know you do really good work. I've seen your fucking horse stables, okay?
Yeah.
When your horse stables look better than my house.
Yeah, they're tight.
How old is he?
50.
Man, being about to retire.
Oh, man. He's living right.
Yeah,
But,
retiring in 2 years.
But his let me brag on your bro a little bit because his level of detail in the construction business, his eye for it is fucking there. I mean, hands down, man. I walked in, he had some property. I don't think he owns it anymore, but they owned horse stables and stuff like that, and they boarded horses, whatever. Son, the damn field house, where you just hang out before you go ride your little horsey and all that good shit. I walked in there, dude. I've never lived in a house that nice, and it was the field house. Yeah. It was the house where you go kick the dirt and mud and horse shit off your boots.
Yeah, it's the front of the barn. Is basically what
it's
horse
front,
stable.
it was the fucking front of the barn.
Yeah,
it was nicer than any house I've ever lived in my life.
Oh, he did it right. It was nice.
And the stables, the doors on your big sliding doors that go to each stall. I mean, I don't know who the fuck built them. I know he didn't personally build every aspect of it, but his guys that put all that together, the fit and finish on fucking barn doors.
So his people built it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And where they wash the horses, the damn shower stall is all fucking. I'm like, that's the biggest shower ever.
Yeah.
But just everything, it looked like anything that you could ever see in a magazine, anything that they could ever prop up to make look super awesome in a magazine,
cool,
it's like living it, man. I give him credit, man.
And to think that was just a thick brush forest, when he bought the land.
Yeah.
And he cleared it and did everything.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, hats off to him. The guy does a good job.
If whatever he doesn't physically do himself, he doesn't let his guys half-ass it.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's a micromanager for sure. He's there watching.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. The house, he built that house from the ground up
down in Apalachicola.
Yep.
Man, it's beautiful.
See, it's hard to find good quality now. Everybody wants to throw shit together and get paid.
That fucking house he threw down there on the base, it ain't thrown together.
No, it's
the damn
tight.
The columns on that son of a gun. You as a structural engineer you just walk around and go, this is what he did for a house, dude. You could put paper machines on top of this foundation.
Yeah.
He's got columns just ginormous, and they go way up, way embedded in the ground, and that's why
those are the ones that are like 14 feet in the ground or something like that.
Yeah, so I think they're 16 feet in the ground and then 14 above ground. So the house is 14 feet elevated, but it's like a 12 by 12 concrete column is what it is.
12 foot?
12 foot across. Yeah, 12 by 12.
Oh,
So-
12 inch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 12 inch.
12 inch. The actual square column is foot by foot, and it's
Yeah.
fucking ginormous for a house.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, but I mean, held up fine. Everything.
Hell yeah, it did. I could see everything getting blown off the top of it before I could see those columns moving.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But and you actually saw that down in Mexico Beach. Some of those concrete column houses were getting
Columns
blown
just
off.
left.
That was all that was left. That's it that was left because they just didn't anchor it and attach it down good or right, you know. But you know, there's straps that you can put on the house and all that, and people are just half-assing it, you know, doing it to code or just enough to get by.
Just enough to get by. His brother doubled everything on code. If I'm not, I hope I'm not saying that wrong.
Yeah.
But he like the hurricane banding, strapping on your frame of your house, all that stuff. Whatever they require, he did it by two. You know, so if it's on whatever on centers, he did it half that, and just you know.
Cool.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna let that son of a gun blow away.
No, I mean that's gonna be his retirement home, you know. So otherwise he'd have to move in with me if that thing blew up.
Well, what do you think about? What is he afraid of? Corporations taking the beach over in Mexico Beach?
He is because you know right now since he got those condos, it's the first time he's had a straight shot view of the ocean. You know, because he's across the street, and so you know, damn, you build a 20-story condo in front of you, you know, it's going to block.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, block everything. So it's one thing if you've got a house, you know, but then you build one of those big, huge high-rises, you know, it kind of changes the landscape on everything. So, but it'll be interesting to see just how the general public handles everything down there, the individuals. So, but there's people down there with money, so I don't know that they're going to be so desperate.
To sell out.
Yeah. I hope not. But we'll see.
Yeah, the last frontier.
Yep.